Hello! So I got some really great feedback from the last video on how to get started going to the gym from scratch. Be sure to watch that if you haven't already. And today, as promised in that last video, I'm going to cover a beginner lifting routine to give you a little bit more structure, because hopefully now you're starting to go to the gym more often and you're getting comfortable with it. And in the second half of this video, I'm going to cover some basic gym terminology, because I know when I first started, some of the terms and lingo felt almost like a different language to me. So I want to help you guys out there too. One of the best programs I know out there for beginners is push-pull legs. So I want to take you through that and the exercises I recommend for all 3 days. So push-pull legs are basically 3 different workout days, so it's not a big time sink for you. And each day focuses on a different thing. So push exercises are those where you're pushing the weight away from your body. Pull is when you're pulling the weight towards your body. And legs are they're leg exercises. Not only is push-pull legs just 3 out of 7 days, so it's not a big commitment, but also it covers all the big lifts and movements that any beginner needs to know, and they are the backbone of many strength training programs out there. So once you master push-pull legs, the rest is smooth sailing. So before every lifting session, please warm up your body. Doing light cardio on an inclined treadmill for 5 to 10 minutes is a good way to get started. First day is push, flat bench press. It's your choice with what you're comfortable doing at first. I would recommend starting with light dumbbells if you're really nervous about touching a barbell at the start. The barbell weighs 20 kilos or 45 pounds by itself. So if that sounds like a lot for you, grab a bench and some light dumbbells and do your sets there. When warming up for lifting, post-cardio, I like to basically do a lighter version of what I aim to achieve that session. So if my goal is to press the 45-pound dumbbells, then I'll start with the 20-pound dumbbells and work my way up. For you, when picking a starting weight, I would err on the side of caution and pick really light weights. Don't feel embarrassed to grab the 5 or 10-pound dumbbells. Who cares? We all start somewhere. Now gently kip up the dumbbells as you lie down. Now bring the dumbbells down to your chest and then push them back up at the same speed. Use the same technique if you're using a barbell, but obviously without the kipping up. You are controlling the weight, not the other way around. Now repeat this for about 8 to 12 reps. If that was super light, great, go up a bit. Grab heavier dumbbells or add a little bit of weight to the barbell and do the same thing until you hit a weight that feels moderately challenging. Think about 60 to 70% of effort. Aim to do 3 sets of 8 reps with this weight. In between your sets, put the weights down and rest for around 1 to 3 minutes. Let your heart rate come back to normal and let your arms rest. Incline bench press. For incline bench press, adjust your bench to about 30 degrees. Basically do the exact same thing here with testing the weights, starting from light and working your way up until you get to that 60 to 70% effort, and do another lot of 3 sets, 8 reps, resting properly in between. Shoulder press. For shoulders, a classic shoulder press with either dumbbells or barbell is great as it works out your entire shoulder. For shoulder press, similar to chest press, pick a light weight to warm up with, kip up the weight gently to your shoulders, bring the weight down to your shoulders, your elbows pass parallel, and then bring them back up. That's 1 rep. Do this until you find your 60 to 70% effort weight, then do 3 sets of 8 for this as well. Be warned, you won't be able to shoulder press nearly as much as you bench, and that's totally fine. Tricep push downs. Now for triceps, these are my favorite things to work out. Grab a rope attachment and find yourself a free cable machine. Attach the rope and adjust the cable to be at the top of the machine, watching your fingers while doing this. Ensure the pin is safely in place. Then go light at first, just like all the other exercises, and work your way up until you find that working weight. That's 60 to 70% effort. Then do 3 sets of 12 reps with this. Really tire your arms out here and get a great pump. And that's it. That's your basic push day. Now for pull, I recommend the below. Deadlift, 3 sets, about 6 to 8 reps. There are 2 different main forms of deadlift. I'll be showing you the conventional today. For conventional deadlift, stand about a shoulder width apart, whilst hinging from the hip, bend down and grab the barbell with both hands. Grab the bar on the outside of your knees. When ready, flex your lats, which are basically your back muscles, and your glutes, and push down with your legs as you lift the bar upwards. I like to imagine I'm pushing the earth away with my feet as I lift the bar up. This helps me avoid a rounded back by not lifting with just my upper body. Ensure that the bar is basically scraping your shins as you do this. It's important you keep the weight close to your body. Once you're standing upright, lower the bar with control back to the ground. Do not drop it. Now, that's 1 rep. Easy. Lat pull down. I recommend 3 sets of 12 for this. Our lats are like the little wings we have on the sides of our back and help support a lot of heavy lifts at the gym and even when we're just carrying a bunch of groceries. For pull downs, I like to grab a wide bar and hold it about 1.5 shoulder widths apart. Then I pull the bar down towards my chest and lean back to activate my back rather than my biceps. Imagine you're trying to get your elbows to touch at the back or your shoulder blades to kiss each other. Really squeeze and feel it in your back, not your arms. Seated cable rows. I recommend 3 sets of 12 here. So cable rows are great, especially since they're easier to set up than a barbell row. Grab a closed grip attachment similar to the one I have here. Select a semi-light weight to begin with, and then set yourself up with your feet on the stirrups and your back upright. Pull back and similar body cues to the lat pull down. Imagine you're trying to get your shoulder blades to kiss at the back. Barbell curls. I recommend 3 sets of 12 for this. It's a classic curl. Just grab your light barbell, hold it about shoulder width apart. Then the rep starts at the bottom with your arms down. Then curl the barbell up towards your chin with minimal leg or shoulder involvement. I don't want to see you throwing your shoulders around to get the weight up. Once it's up, lower it down at the same tempo with control. That's 1 rep. And that's it. That's your pull day. All right, and now for many ladies' favorite day of the week, legs. So classic barbell squat, about 3 sets of 8 for this. It's a quintessential leg exercise. For squats, I want you to practice with just your body weight first. Stand about shoulder width apart and your toes pointed around 30 to 45 degrees out. Squat down and then back up, trying to hip parallel as you're at the bottom of the squat. This means your femur is parallel to the ground. It's okay if your knees go over your toes. It's a myth that that's bad form. We're all built differently, so as long as your knees aren't collapsing inwards, the angle of your feet and how far your knees go over your toes is highly subjective. Once you're comfortable with just squatting your body weight, get under the bar. Let the bar sit just behind your neck, on the muscly, fatty bit just under your neck bone. It can be uncomfortable, but never painful. If it's painful, it's probably sitting directly on your bone and you're doing it wrong. Now, unload the bar and take 2 steps back. Once your feet are at the right width for you to squat, remember your form during the body weight squat. Breathe in and then squat down and then come back up. Your speed down and then up should be about the same. I don't want to see you kamikazing it down and then struggling to come back up. Control the weight. Don't let it control you. Keep upping the weight, similar to the other exercises on the other days, until you hit that 60 to 70% effort mark. Then do the 3 sets, 8 reps. Leg press. I recommend 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps for this. Leg press is pretty easy to get started with. Just pick a weight that works for you, sit down and have your feet in a similar fashion to a squat, and then just squat down. You will most likely be able to push far more weight on the leg press than a squat, so this exercise is a safe way to push those strength limits a bit. Single leg press or Bulgarians. I recommend 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps here. Since you're already on the leg press, you can also do a single leg press to get your glutes going. If you really hate yourself, I'd recommend doing Bulgarian split squats. Similar principle to the single leg press, but it's with free weights, so more challenging and more exhausting. I would start at the bottom of the split squat to assess where you need to place your front foot. Once you know, grab 2 light dumbbells and go for it. You should feel a burn in your glutes and hamstrings. It's miserable, but it's great for you, so please do them. Lunges. 3 sets, 12 reps with these. And speaking of miserable, walking lunges are the worst, but you gotta do them, okay? They're such a great exercise for your legs and they're really good for endurance as well. So try not to skip these either. Grab either a small barbell or 2 light dumbbells and lunge forward. Your knee should just lightly touch the ground before taking another step forward. These are tough, but really great for muscular endurance. If walking lunges are especially exhausting, try doing them in place like so. At the end of every lifting session, try to take some time out to cool down by doing some mobility stretches. And if you're feeling extra adventurous and energetic, about 10 to 15 minutes jogging on the treadmill. Ideally, you'll do this program on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, taking a rest day in between each lifting day. And when I say rest, I mean really actually rest. Don't do anything intense. So you're welcome to do some light stretches, go for a light walk or hike with some friends, but nothing too crazy, please. Lifting is important, but rest is important. Okay, I wrote that line as a joke and I told myself I'd rewrite it, but I never went back to rewrite it. So we're going with that. Rest is important. Now let's cover some gym lingo. So let's start very basic. So a rep is 1 repetition of an exercise or movement. So this is 1 rep of a squat. A set is a group of repetitions. So this is what 1 set of 5 squats looks like. So when people say, oh, today I'm doing 3x12 bench press, that means they're doing 3 sets of 12 reps of bench press. So 36 repetitions overall. Now, rest is the period of rest in between each set of exercises. So going back to our example, if someone says they're doing 3x12 with 90-second rests, that means they are doing 3 sets of 12 repetitions with 90 seconds break in between each set. Now, a spotter is basically a bro there to keep you safe, and I think that's pretty sweet. It's a person to help ensure that you are able to lift in a safe manner, and they can also be used to help eke out a couple extra reps that otherwise wouldn't be possible without their help. Now you might be thinking, oh, just don't ego lift, don't pick up weights that you're not capable of picking up. But at the core of building up strength and muscle, we need to continuously, progressively overload what we pick up. We can't just start the gym picking up 10 kilos and then lift only 10 kilos for the rest of our lives. We have to keep building up upon that. And that's where a spotter can come in to help support that growth. The thing is, to build muscle and strength, we need to constantly push ourselves, and that does involve putting ourselves in a little bit of risk with pushing more weight. If someone approaches you at the gym and asks for you to give them a spot, that means they're asking for you to support them during a lift. The most popular lift where you will see someone with a spotter is usually the barbell bench press, because the weight is hovering just above you, and there is a pretty big danger factor should the bar slip or they're not able to get the bar back up. Now, if you're completely new to the gym, you've never spotted anyone, you're not even sure how to do that, don't be afraid to just take a step back and tell that person, I'm sorry, I'm completely new to the gym and I'm not comfortable doing it for you. Because at the end of the day, you're in charge of helping them lift as safely as possible. So don't feel pressured to do it for them, but also maybe even just ask them, hey, when you do find a spotter, would you mind me watching both of you work out together just for a minute, just so you can learn how to spot someone in the future? There's honestly no harm in asking. Conversely, if you're attempting a big lift yourself and you would like someone to spot you, don't be afraid to look around near you and ask someone, oh hey, would you mind giving me a spot? Be sure to communicate exactly what you're doing, how many reps you're going after, and if there's a certain signal they need to keep an eye out for. Also, communicate to them the type of spotting you would like to see. For example, for the barbell bench press, some people like to just have someone stand above them, not really hovering their hands in front of them, and they're just there just in case the last rep or two is struggling to go up. And some other people, they prefer to have someone having light touch fingers on the bar as they're bench pressing, so they have that peace of mind knowing that you're right there should they not be able to get the rep up. Ensure you communicate your needs clearly to your spotter so you're both on the same page and no one gets hurt or upset by the good or bad job that you do. Some people use a spotter as a safety net and others use it for more peace of mind. So whatever you prefer to do, ensure you communicate that to the person you've asked to spot you. Now, something I wish more people explained to me when I first started the gym is the term work in. So work in is when someone asks to use a piece of equipment that you're currently not using because you're taking a rest in between sets and they're working in between yours. This normally happens when it's very busy at the gym and there aren't too many pieces of equipment around, and they want to get their workout in as quickly as possible. Now, you are within your rights to say, no, thank you, I'm not comfortable with you working in with me, because I understand that there is a lot of exchanging of sweat that happens when you do allow someone to work in with you on a machine. The best way to say no thank you, though, is to give them a set time so they know when to come back to the machine. If someone wants to use the leg press, just let them know, oh, no thanks, I'm not super comfortable with that, but I have 2 sets left, so I'll be done in 5 minutes. Give them a time frame so they roughly know what to keep an eye out for. And most people will understand that most of us aren't comfortable with exchanging butt sweat on machines. And it is a bit of a hassle to wipe down after every set. So just be clear with your needs with the other person. Easy. Now, 2 terms you may hear around the gym or online are superset and drop set. So supersets are when you do 2 different exercises or more concurrently. Consecutively, not concurrently. So when you do 2 or more different exercises consecutively without rest in between. So for example, one of my favorite shoulder day supersets is I'll do a seated dumbbell press, and then I'll go straight into static lateral raises, and then I'll finish with some arches. These are 3 different exercises with very little rest in between, so this is called a superset. Supersets can work out the same muscle group, like my example there with shoulders, or they can work out totally different muscle groups. They're really great if you're short on time at the gym. I highly recommend checking out some of Jeff Nippard's videos on how to maximize your gym time when you're really short on it. And supersets are also great for just building up muscular endurance as well. Now, a drop set is when you do the same exercise but then you drop the weight for the next set without any rest in between. So for example, I love doing a really tough drop set at the end of my leg day on the leg extension machine. Just sit down, I set the weight to a certain amount, and then after I do 12 reps, I just lower that weight and I do another 12 reps, and then I lower it one more time and I do another 12 reps. And it's just insane, like the pump you get at the end of the day. So I strongly recommend trying that if you really want to punish yourself. And at the end of my chest and triceps day, I really enjoy doing a drop set with 2 drops on the tricep rope push down. So basically I set the weight and then I do 12 reps and then I drop the weight by a little bit and I do another 12 reps and then I drop the weight one more time and I do another 12 reps. And then by the end of it, my arms want to fall off. Again, drop sets are really great for endurance, and they're just a great way to end your workout on a really crazy pump. Now, I know that was probably a lot to take in, but I hope all of this has helped further demystify the gym and gym culture and terminology for you. The gym really isn't a scary place. It's actually an adult playground. It's where we all go to get some gains and just grow as people, both physically and mentally. So go to the gym if you really want to. Don't be scared off by it. You won't regret it. And that's it. I hope this video has helped you get more excited, more passionate about getting into the gym, and more importantly, to stay there, to keep going and to not give up and to stick to a solid lifting routine. If you've watched this far, thank you so much. Please comment below on anything else you'd like to see, if you've learned anything new this video, if there's anything I've missed out that you want me to cover in the future, let me know. Please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to see more, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy lifting! Yeah, that was a lot to cover, guys. Oh my goodness.